Great time.
Yeah.
Man, the kids.
Good.
I don't know about you guys. How long ago did we play? 8, 10 years ago?
Yeah, longer.
They're better than us, guys.
Yeah, they are.
They're good. And they're physical.
It's
a lot of people are saying,
it's
no.
different hockey, I find, like watching.
Explain. Yeah.
Like-
I have my own explanation, but I'd like to hear your.
Well, it's just gone to more of a skill-based game, and like it comes back to what they're doing in the summers and the skill development and stuff like that. So it's a faster-paced game.
yes.
But, you know, I don't know if some of the kids could hang with in terms of like the physicality aspect of it. Like everyone was bigger. If you weren't 6 foot and over, you weren't really getting a look. Now there is room for those smaller players and those skill guys, which is great.
That's
like,
fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I remember when I was 16, my first year, like you're looking down and we're playing Cape Breton and they bring up, Ashton Bernard, who
Oh, man, I got chills just saying it.
like you're sitting there and you're 16 and it's like you're looking up at this guy just towering up, and it's like, I remember I was 16, it was warm up. He took a shot at me as we were doing the egg beater, shooting pucks, and puck comes rifling at the back of my legs, and I'm sitting there like, what the?
What league is this? This is
in the Q? Yeah, and then I'm sitting there and I go around again. Another shot comes, and he was just sitting at the blue line shooting pucks across the red line down at us, and then that was what the style was.
The intimidation factor was there.
And like we had guys like tough guys that wouldn't warm up. They would literally just stretch at center ice, facing straight down, like looking at our end. It was a different brand of hockey for sure. And like that wasn't that long ago, but they still had that. Now towards the end of my Q career, that stuff started to kind of tail off. But when I was first there, like it was tough. There was fights every night. Now it's like you never know
Not
if
as
you're gonna
much.
get one. Yeah.
I was at a Moosehead game the other day. It was good hockey, but I thought the physicality factor was a lot higher during that Q Cup. When there was scouts in the stands and there was more on the line, guys want to make something. I don't know. The physicality was there. When I was at that Moosehead game the other day, the physicality wasn't there.
It's all speed and puck possession.
Yeah.
Right? So, the guys are so skilled with the puck, they don't want to give it up.
Yeah, but you got to move the puck.
No, I know, but they don't want to dump to go get. They want to dump to possess.
I see what you're saying.
So they don't want to go throw a hit. They want to keep the puck.
But
everyone works harder when a scout's in the stands. Don't you know that?
Oh, well, fuck, that's why those games were unbelievable. We were doing the Atlantic Challenge Cup over at the 4-pad in Moncton, and then I went over really quickly just to watch Nova Scotia, New Brunswick play in Dieppe.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was watching a Q game with cages. It was just...
I mean, watch the intensity of a Wednesday night game in Cole Harbour or Dartmouth or in Halifax, and then watch the intensity at the Monctonian or something like that, where they know there's thousands, everyone's there, everyone's watching. It does change it for sure.
We were the same. I can't sit here and point
100% we were.
You see that Q jacket. That's you now.
Yeah,
it's you now.
100%.
You guys are setting that intimidation factor.
Yeah.
But you see those clipboards up in the stands and the pea coats. All right, let's go.
And like,
it is what it is.
And that's something like within a kid, like that kid either has that compete level and has that, they want to go out and they're just, no matter who's watching, they're turned on, they're going, they're 100 miles an hour, and like those are the kids that are gonna go further. And it's not something that you can really teach. Like that, a player either has that or they don't. Now you can work towards it and try to push them towards it, but at some point you're gonna reach the max. Like you're gonna get the most out of that kid that you can, and if they don't have that to push further, or they don't have that in them, then it's a little bit different, right?
You guys can only teach and push so much.
Yeah.
And you have to be wary of how much you push. Like, like I've had with my athletes too, like in the gym, you kind of know the ones that you've been working with for a while, their limits, what you can say to them to light a fire under their ass, what you could say to get them going and doing stuff. But some of them, like, you can't push too hard. You got to ease off a little bit, or, you got to tell them, hey, let's take some weight down. Let's do this, right? Like there's lots of, and that just comes with knowing your athletes, knowing what they respond to, knowing what is going to push them and actually make a positive impact versus a negative impact on them.
Yeah. Do you think kids know what tough love is these days? Is that an element of coaching? Because tough love got me through some things when it came to hockey.
Yeah.
Can you still do that?
I don't know. we often, like as a staff, discuss that. Like, how do you handle a relationship with a kid? How do you coach them? Which kids can handle the tough love? You'll figure that out pretty quick. But I think athletes and kids nowadays, they look at the relationship a little different. You know, I think when we played, a lot of coaches were this authoritative figure. You know, there was no personal connection between you and him. You know, I don't know about you, but I can say this. I had some great coaches growing up, but none of them were role models. None of them were people who showed an interest in me outside of the rink. You know, whereas now the relationships, they go a little deeper. So that tough love is sometimes not as necessary as it once was because those kids respect you.
I see what you're saying.
And they'll want to work for you as long as you approach them the right way and tell them something that they need to work on, or, you know, you could do this better. You usually get a pretty good response. Something that happened in a recent game at the Pictou Challenge, we got a great 07 player, Colt Chandler. He's an awesome player.
Great name, Colt Chandler.
Yeah, CC.
CC, even better.
He's a hell of a player, but he let his guy go to the net, and his guy scored a goal. So he comes to the bench, and, you know, he's always used to being the superstar, right? I gave him a little shit for letting his guy go to the net, and he was, you know, a little bit pissy pants about it, right? He wasn't too fond of me kind of coming down on him. Some time passed, you know, about 8 minutes in the game, and then, you know, same thing, come up to the kid, I got my arms around him, like, all right, buddy, go make a play. You know, go make a play. It's all behind us, right? Let's work towards it. He goes out, he makes a beautiful assist on a power play, like a seam pass for a backdoor tap in. And I was just like, see, like, it's nothing personal. We're all in this together. We're all trying to work towards the same thing. And that's kind of the approach I take with players now is, you know, if you do get on them, you come back to them a little later on just to, you know, build them back up again. Yeah. And nothing's ever, you know, F you, none of this. Like, it's stern, but it's to the point. And, you know, as long as they respect you, they'll listen, even though they're not happy in the moment.